Welcome to the Boxing Talk Show.
Fair but firm.
With the Hall of Fame boxing referee.
I'm Joe Cortez.
And co-host John Zemel for all of Las Vegas.
Come on, guys. Let's touch them up. Clean fight. I'm Joe Cortez. Fair but firm. Welcome to the Fair but Firm Show here. Joe Cortez and my co-host John Zemel. John Zemel, you are one of the greatest commentators I've seen. You bring so much energy to the show. We want to make sure we continue with that.
I'm trying,
because that's what fans want to hear.
They do. Energy. Well, it's boxing, baby. Boxing's nothing but energy.
And man, if you catch
you come out with no energy. That's how you catch one.
That's right. Otherwise, you end up losing the fight.
Don't I know it?
You know, you got to come out.
Don't know it.
Yeah, you know, yeah. Canelo and Triple G.
Yeah, talk about energy.
They had to come out fighting quick. I said Canelo had to come out quick. If he didn't, you know what's going to happen?
Yep.
He was going to lose.
Exactly.
And still, he came out with all that energy, a lot of power punching. And still,
if Triple G had a little more energy in the 10th round, he might have been able to put him down when he had him shook.
Yeah, but he woke up too late.
He woke up too late, baby. You know? That's energy. That's what we're talking about.
If you wake up late, you know what happened? You miss it. Early bird gets the worm.
That's
so you got to be out there quick. You got to be quick.
Say.
Anyway, guys, I want to talk a little bit about memory lane because there's not much to happening this weekend other than small fights. We have
Callum Smith is fighting George Groves in the World Boxing Super Series final. This is a pretty big fight because of it's the final. World Boxing Super Series famously made a star out of Usyk. And then now this one took so long because George Groves suffered an injury, I think a rib injury when he fought Chris Eubank Jr. Made Chris, expose the myth that was Chris Eubank Jr. So now George Groves is going on to fight Callum Smith and take his crown.
Yeah, well, it's going to be an interesting fight, but
I'm excited about it. Man.
Well, I really want to talk a little bit more about. You guys see the picture behind us here, the nice Muhammad Ali. It brings me down memory lane about the days where Cassius Clay, before he became Muhammad Ali, he was out there, coming out with a lot of blah blah blah. He's one of the fighters started talking a lot.
Ooh, he did.
I mean, he had a big mouth, and a lot of guys wanted to shut him up. They couldn't. He would predict the rounds. He would knock them out, and he would just go all over the ring and yelling, open big mouth, and you could just picture it just the way he was. But he was trying to be one of the greatest.
Mm-hmm. You know what I think about? The big mouth, the whole thing. You go back. I think that first started with Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson was the first black heavyweight champion of the world. He was he's a personal hero of mine. He's the things he had to overcome. But what he had to get a chance at the heavyweight championship because he couldn't because of obviously his the prejudice. He had to follow around Jim Jeffries everywhere he went. Every fight that he fought, he had to be ringside shouting at him, saying, "Give me a chance, give me a chance." And you know who I think should start doing that? I think Deontay Wilder should start following Anthony Joshua around side of his rings, yelling, hey, I'm right here. Yeah, because he's loud too.
Yeah, he got to do it. I mean, he's kind of loud. He has a big mouth, and
does.
He's trying to copy Muhammad. At the Hall of Fame last year, I happened to put I like to collect rings, memorabilia.
You sure
rings.
do. You got a big famous one, man.
And I have one put aside with Muhammad Ali ring. I said Ali, one of it. And I said I want to give this to somebody up at the Hall of Fame. And Deontay Wilder was sitting with me up at the
heavyweight champion.
WBC heavyweight champion. He was sitting at the dais up there at all these champions, all the Hall of Famers and past Hall of Famers and up and coming fighters. They were up there at the dais, maybe about 50 of us total. And I happened to be sitting Jerry Ross to my right next to Jerry Ross, who got inducted. Jerry Ross was the a judge here in Las Vegas for over 30 years. But Deontay Wilder was talking. And I said, Deontay, when he started talking to me, Jerry Ross in the middle, I felt like pushing Jerry Ross out of the way. I'd rather talk to Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, baby.
Even though Jerry
Bronze
Ross,
bomber.
Yeah, even though Jerry Ross, one of my favorite judges, retired. But I want to talk to Deontay Wilder, because heavyweight champion of the world. And I said, this is a guy to really pick his brains a little bit. I said, how do you start boxing? Who influenced you? Who inspired you? He said, Joe, Muhammad Ali was the one that inspired me. And I had this ring in my pocket. I was looking for somebody. I said, man, this is the guy. Muhammad Ali inspired this guy to become a boxer. Now he's heavyweight champion of the world. I'm going to pull that ring out of my pocket. I'm going to give it to him. So I pulled the ring out of my pocket. I said, I'm going to give you something. If it fits you, you keep it. If it doesn't, I'm taking it back. So I went in my pocket. He had his eyes wide open. I took out this ring. And he came out to my side. And he saw that it says Ali. All like diamonds with ruby diamonds. They said Ali and diamonds, and the rubies, stones.
Set in rubies.
Yeah, and I gave it to him. And he couldn't get it in too good, but he kept pushing it. Then pushing it. No, I told him, I said, if it don't fit, I take it back. so he put it on, and it fit it. Man, I'll tell you, he was so excited. He gave me a big hug, a big kiss. He said, "Oh my God, Joe, you don't know what this means to me. He is my idol." And man, I never thought this. He was going. They called him up to do a little speech about, And the first thing out of his mouth said, "I can't believe, I got to tell you guys," there was like 1,000 people there at the dinner. "I got to tell you something that just happened. Joe Cortez, you gave me a gift. I can't believe it." He had this ring. He showed the ring to the fans, a Muhammad Ali ring, and everybody was like, "Wow," And I think,
That's so cool, man.
He one of the great ones. I had to share that.
I love his story, man. Because when you say, where he came from, what got him started boxing.
Yeah.
This is a guy who played basketball and wasn't very successful at it. He's 6'7", and he's a phenomenal athlete, but just wasn't really getting a lot of traction when it came to basketball. Trying to play college ball, trying to work his way up. He has a daughter. She gets I can't remember. It's either spina bifida or scoliosis. So don't quote me, but it's one of those two. And he can't afford medical treatment for it. So he starts boxing because he sees it as a way out, as so many people in the sport do. Ends up 2 years later, he's gets a gold medal, a bronze medal in the championships. That's why he's called the Bronze Bomber.
Yeah.
And then, now he's 40-0 with 39 knockouts and a green belt around his waist. I mean, that's a guy who just talk about following your dreams, never giving up.
Exactly.
That guy, he epitomizes it.
Well, there's a lot of people out there that are following their dreams, and I'm a strong believer of them keep going forward. And I know that sometimes you got that they have it inside of them, and they don't even know they have it. And sometimes you got to inspire them, just talking to them a little bit, and get them on the right track. And there's so many people out there that I always been trying to help and get them on the right track. Mm-hmm. And you fans that are out there watching and listening, remember, follow your dream, because not only is it's a good feeling, but you said to yourself, "Wow, if I would have known this 10 years ago, I would have gave it a lot more effort." But you need some support behind it, whether it's family or just individuals that you look up to. I know when I was starting out, I looked up to Gaspar Indian Ortega, who was a professional fighter, and he inspired me to become a boxer. And not only a boxer, but he inspired me to become the right person, the person that I am today. I care, I give to everybody. He's always taught me, "Joe, always give to people. We're going to pay forward." And I have, I've been trying to do the best I can. I know I'm not the greatest, but I'm hard to beat. So what can I tell you, other than, you've been a pay forward, and God takes care of you, and God's been good to me, and I'm trying to do the best I can to make sure my colleagues around me that work with me, and those that are just fans or friends, they watch and listen.
I'm all those, right?
Yeah, exactly. I try to push people in the right direction. Sometimes you get stabbed in the back sometimes, But what can you do? You know what? I still love my friends and fans and everybody, especially the fans are the ones that want to stab you in the back sometimes.
Don't you know it?
But I think that we have to continue to be good-hearted, caring, loving, and give the fans, what they deserve, and knowledge and wisdom. But I get all excited, man, when we talk about these fights, when we talk about the Tyson era and these kind of fights, like Julio Cesar Chavez, Holyfield, Red Bull, Manny Pacquiao, Marquez, and now we're talking about Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather. Oh, my fans, you know what? Don't go away. I'll be right back. We're going to talk about Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather. Fans, talking about Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather. But before we go into that topic, that fight, talking about, Floyd Mayweather, I don't know, but the Triple G, Canelo Alvarez fight, the day of the fight, that morning, he announced he's fighting Manny Pacquiao.
So funny.
But we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about the days of Mike Tyson when he was starting out. I'm going to tell you a little quick story. Mike Tyson came up to me one day and said, "Joe," no, he don't call me Joe, he always called me Mr. Cortez. "Mr. Cortez, I want to tell you something. When I first met you, I was 13 years of age. And let me tell you, you may not remember, but I remember that like if it was yesterday." I said, "Yes, yesterday." And he said, and I always felt like, wow, I met Mr. Cortez in New York City, and you gave me some directions about how to stay on the right track and do the right things. If I did that, I'll become champion of the world. Well, you know what, John? Mike Tyson did become one of the great heavyweights of all time.
My God, yes, he did.
And
speaking of heavyweights, man, we're getting shaping up to have a good heavyweight division these days too. I mean, I wonder, being as you've been around for, the golden era of heavyweight boxing in the 90s and the golden era of heavyweight boxing in the 70s and the golden era of heavyweight boxing in the 20s. And, you've been around for, all the different eras.
Yeah.
I got to ask, what you see today, what you watch this last weekend when you saw Anthony Joshua, who, of course, is the belt holder of, 4 different heavyweight championship belts, go up against Alexander Povetkin and a potential bout with Deontay Wilder, who we were just discussing, looming. Do you see that as potentially being a great heavyweight rivalry, a great heavyweight matchup, like an all-time type situation?
You're talking about Deontay Wilder
and Anthony Joshua.
Well, that's a fight because there's really nothing else out there. But, I mean, when these two guys fight each other, there really isn't anything much of interest in the heavyweight division. I mean, I'm not taking my hat off to it. Where's my hat?
I don't know.
Anyway, I don't have a hat to take off.
We got to get a hat.
Yeah. But anyway, there's nobody really much out there except that there are a couple of young up-and-coming fighters, that prospects in the heavyweight division.
Well, Tyson Fury still exists, and we'll see who, whether he's still around.
Yeah, but Tyson Fury, he's going to be fighting now Deontay Wilder. So he may be put out a picture before even anything else happens, before the year is out. Can he surprise Wilder?
I mean, I think he can, man. Here's the deal. He beat Vladimir Klitschko 3 years ago, before Anthony Joshua did.
Yeah.
And he beat him like all 12 rounds. He convincingly beat him, outpointed him. I mean, he's definitely going to outbox Deontay Wilder. There's no question there. The question is whether or not Deontay Wilder can land that sledgehammer on his chin.
You think he can outbox Wilder?
I think anyone can outbox Wilder.
I think Wilder hits you with a good shot.
That's the point. Yeah.
You're not going to be throwing that many punches because you're going to be more on the defense,
sleeping, bro. Yeah. No, I don't disagree with you.
And it could be good, nice, sweet prince when I got.
It always is. Man. He's 40-0 with 39 knockouts.
Yeah, when you got a guy with that kind of record, you're not gonna go there with your guards down. You're gonna go up there with your hands.
Exactly. Well, that didn't help Romain Stavern. He got knocked out through his guard.
Yeah, that's right. The guy got to probably put a shield and tape it around their head, around the whole arms, and try not to get. There's no way. I mean, Deontay Wilder gonna hit this guy with some shot, whether it's an uppercut, whether it's a left hook to the body, right hook.
It's gonna be that overhand right. Speaking of overhand rights, we saw Anthony Joshua get caught with an overhand right.
Yeah.
We've seen in the past against Joseph Parker him get caught with an overhand right.
Yeah.
We saw him get knocked down with an overhand right against Vladimir Klitschko. Do you see that being? I mean, let's call it what it is. Deontay Wilder's overhand right is one of the strongest punches we've ever seen. I mean, it's up there. It's in the conversation. If he hits Anthony Joshua with that same punch, it's a different story than it was against these other guys, right?
Well, exactly. And Deontay Wilder's a good puncher. I mean,
he has to change his style if he goes up against him.
I mean, if you look at his record, I mean, you're talking about knockout. I mean, Mike Tyson had a great knockout record. Mm-hmm. But you know what happened? Mike Tyson ended up getting knocked out himself. And once he got knocked out, he was exposed. And then what happened? Everybody got on the bad ones. I want to fight Tyson.
People talk about Mike Tyson all the time. Potentially, baddest man on the planet, right? A lot of people have him as, one of the best heavyweights of all time. But since we've been going back, since historians have been able to go back and look and see who he actually fought, I mean, because obviously he had his bout with jail and he had, his kind of spiral into I don't know what you want to call it. But this was a guy who had all the potential in the world. When he was at his peak and he was fighting lesser opponents, he looked like the scariest boxer we've ever seen, right?
Right.
And then everything happened, and then he was fighting finally the Lennox Lewises and the Evander Holyfields and the Riddick Bowe's and all these other guys. And now all of a sudden he doesn't look the same. Do you think that if he would have fought them in his prime, that he would have beat them, or do you think he never really was as good as he looked at fighting lesser opponents?
No, I'll tell you one thing. I know a little bit more about Mike Tyson than a lot of folks out there. I refereed Mike Tyson 9 times.
Exactly, that's what I'm asking.
And I did most of his fights when he was coming up. I did the biggest fight I refereed with him was when he knocked out, what's his name, the fighter from Philadelphia, from Pennsylvania, Larry Holmes.
Yes.
And Larry Holmes was one of the better ones out there.
Larry Holmes was old, though.
I mean, he was old, yeah. He was on his way down, and he lasted only like 4 rounds.
Larry Holmes is one of the great heavyweights.
He was.
Forgotten heavyweight because he lived between,
Ali,
he bridged that gap between Ali and
Frazier.
Frazier and also, of course,
Ken Norton,
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
And he bridged that gap, and because he's between two of the most famous polarizing heavyweights ever, we kind of forget him. But Larry Holmes was a great heavyweight.
Yeah, he was a great heavyweight, But
when he was on his way out,
but Mike Tyson,
facilitate his retirement.
But Mike Tyson, he admitted himself he watched his show, the Mike Tyson show, I mean, it was just it's sad to listen to some of his stories.
Oh yeah, you watch Undisputed?
Yeah, he was Undisputed Truth. Undisputed Truth
his
about
book
Mike
and
Tyson.
his Broadway show are both incredible.
And you listen to him talk about how he got into drugs, doing cocaine and drinking while he was in his prime.
He talks about walking the streets of New York and like beating up prostitutes late at night when he was high on cocaine. It's crazy.
Yeah, but Mike Tyson went through some difficult times, and he went through that when he was fighting the heavyweight in Tokyo, Buster Douglas, and he said he was doing everything.
He didn't take him seriously.
He didn't take him seriously. So he ended up getting knocked out. So it goes to show.
Although I think he does have a case when he talks about Buster Douglas, that long count. I mean, as a referee, that was a long count, right?
Well, I saw the replay, and of course, when the referee started counting, you can see when they stopped the freeze frame, the whole fight. You can see the Japanese timekeeper. He had white gloves on. He was a white glove. He was already at 5.
Yeah.
And the referee picked up the count from 1. He didn't pick it up on the referee. Instead of saying 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Buster Douglas would have been counted out.
Exactly. That's one thing I think a lot of people forget. Yes, Mike Tyson got knocked out.
But it was the other way around. Had the referee made the right call. He was supposed to say, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It would have been out. But you know what happened?
Yeah.
It went into later rounds.
Exactly.
And Mike Tyson ended up getting knocked out.
Yes, he did. And that kind of funky stuff happens sometime, right? Like Deontay Wilder up against Luis Ortiz. We had he got into some deep water.
In the 7th round.
Exactly. And he almost got knocked out. I mean, genuinely, he was shaky. And then all of a sudden there's a long injury timeout and the or whatever, I don't know what do you call it, stoppage, and then the doctor comes over and checks on him and he has time to recuperate and stuff like that kind of happens sometimes, right? Where you think, what could there's a lot of what ifs in the boxing world.
Yeah, well, you go back and you look at when the fights were 15 rounds.
Oh my God.
Some of you baby boomers out there listening know that the 15 rounds was the championship rounds, 13, 14, 15.
Yeah, baby.
But they did away with those 15
Famously,
rounds.
You look at Joe Frazier, when Muhammad Ali fought Joe Frazier, and right before Joe Frazier
the Thriller in Manila.
Right before he threw in the towel, the Muhammad Ali said that he told his trainer, "Cut my gloves off, I'm done." So I mean, those were two guys that fought in the third fight till they were completely, literally both ready to quit. That's impressive.
He said that was the closest thing to hell.
Oh yeah,
in that fight because of the
that's a crazy.
They were so exhausted.
He literally told his trainer, "Cut the gloves off, I'm done."
He was done. But you know what? It was 15 rounds. It would have been 12 rounds. It would have been different. Probably Ali, if we went to a decision, maybe Frazier would have gotten the decision.
Yeah, who knows?
Hey, fans, we're going to go into a brief commercial. Be right back. Okay, fans, so talking about Frazier and Ali back in those days, it goes to show that when you got these fighters that really have the heart and the courage, and they really are focused.
Give it all you got.
To give it all they got. They'll die. They're willing to die in the ring. Some fighters can be knocked out, getting that hell kicked out of them, and they're getting all over the ring, and they're getting these fighters are just fighting, and you're about ready to quit. But you know what?
Yeah.
No matter what, they will not quit. The referee comes over. You okay? How many times I've been to the corner and tell the fighters, "Yeah, you okay? Well, you ready to continue? I'll stop it right here if you don't show me something next round." No, I'm okay. I'm okay, ref. I'll be all right. They come out next round. They come out fighting like a tiger. They don't want to quit. Fighters are not quitters. But when you get some fighters, when I'm surprised when Roberto Duran quit against Sugar Ray Leonard and said no mas, people say, what? Yeah. How about the other night when that kid fought a Friday night fight a couple of weeks ago?
Oh my God, I'm trying to remember his name. But we talked about him a whole bunch of times. No. Oh God.
Anyway.
The heavyweight fight where the guy walked out of the ring. That's
the referee gave the instruction, and the guy walks out of the ring.
No, sir.
As soon as the fighter looked at him and gave him that mean look in his face.
He was so scared.
And he says, "Man, I'm out of here." The bell rung. He climbed between the ropes and left. And people look at what? Can't believe it. But anyway.
Hey, speaking of people who don't know when to quit, we promised that we'd be talking about Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao.
Oh my God!
You got any thoughts on this bout?
Well, listen. Like I said earlier in the show, we're talking about Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. I mean, Floyd Mayweather doesn't want to quit.
No. Neither does Manny Pacquiao.
I mean, these guys, they are legendary fighters that have hearts of of tigers. But these guys don't want to quit.
These are two guys who couldn't figure out a way to make this fight when they were both in their prime, very in their prime. These are two all-time greats who both fought in the same division for 10 years straight and never figured out a way to fight each other. And now they want to fight each other at 40 years old and 41.
Well, you know what's going to happen? I tell you, they're going to get some promoters.
Oh, it's going to work.
Join Bar Aaron, probably be probably the promoter for this fight.
Maybe Mayweather Promotions.
I mean, it'll be a fight for it'll be mainly the baby boomers are going to be there for that, because these guys are almost baby boomers themselves.
Everyone will be, bro. I'm not you know what's crazy? You criticize it, but I'll buy it.
These guys are so old. Yeah. I mean, come on, man. They're old as the hills, man.
Well, that's what they should do. We should make them, like I've said before, we should make them come out and fight every year since they didn't get it done in their prime. Make them do it until they're wheeling out there with their walkers and go out.
That's it. They'll be out with the walkers coming into the ring. They probably come in. They probably bring them out to ringside in the wheelchairs.
Great, yes.
They'll be coming out. That'd be a good entryway for these guys.
Underneath their boxing shorts,
and make the judges.
I wouldn't hate it.
And make the judges their primary doctors to be there instead of having ringside doctors. Bring in their own personal doctors. Yeah, these guys gonna what are these guys?
Bedside nurses.
Oh my God! The ring girls will be bedside nurses. Oh my
God, they better be.
The ring girls will be the nurses.
For safety.
Yeah, of course. They need emergency. They got the ringside.
Bring out everybody from the home.
Yeah. Oh my God!
La Mansión.
Yeah, La Mansión. Yeah, you're gonna have all these nurses from all over the world be coming in.
Yeah. I'm loving it. I love that idea.
And all these baby boomers. And the audience. You look at the audience. You say, senior citizen discounts for these fights. You know.
And you know what though? I bet you Floyd's cane would be really cool. It'd be all full of diamonds, and you know how he is.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
He'd have the coolest old person outfit you ever saw in your whole life.
It'll be amazing to have these kind of shows, you know, to have these. But anyway, but that's what the fans want. I mean, not the fans want it. Manny Pacquiao wants it. Floyd Mayweather wants it.
The fans want it too.
And the fans, believe me, they'll get 1 million buys on this fight again.
And that's the worst part is we keep acting like, you know, no, you don't want to, but we're all gonna watch it.
Yeah,
we're gonna watch it. I mean, we're gonna watch it because we got to talk about it, but I'd watch it anyway.
Exactly. Well, I'll tell you, it's gonna be a fight, and that the referees will have to be watching closely. The ringside doctors make sure the pre-fight physicals are really great, because they're going to have they have to be watching out for these guys' safety.
My God, yes.
And the referees are there to make sure the fighters can come back another day. A heart attack. Hey, we got paramedics there already.
Better.
Hey guys, God forbid. Anyway, guys, take care. Good luck, and keep your guards up at all times. We love you guys. Take care. Touch them up, guys. We love it.